So, is MTN public offer price overpriced? Is it worth buying? Or should I just buy because others are buying? I'll share my thoughts on all this in this video. With the current hype on the MTN public offer, please note that this is not an initial public offer. They've been trading on the Nigerian stock market, but this is a public offer. They want to jettison the shares they own as a company. I don't want to go into all that. There's a lot of questions. Is it worth it? There's a lot of doubt. A lot of people want to buy just because others are buying, simply because of the fear of missing out. They don't even know if it's a good buy or not. So in this video, I will share my thoughts on the MTN shares and tell you why I will not be buying the MTN shares in this public offer. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm always shouting it. So please do your own research. If you have been following me on this channel, you will know that I am only here to share my experiences investing from an investor point of view. It's not about what the company is telling you about their share, because if somebody is selling something, they're going to tell you buy, tell you every good thing about it. But I, as an investor, I'll bring out my magnifying glass and scrutinize it based on some indicators that I'll share with you here. I have been investing in the Nigerian stock market for 20 years. So this is the process I go through before I buy any shares. Yeah, I scrutinize it very well. If you have made the decision to buy these MTN shares, or you still want to buy it because you still have time, can you share with me in the comments below the reason why you think MTN is a good buy? Why you think it's worth it? If you're a YouTuber, feel free to make a video and we will come and watch. You know, it's your money, it's my money, and nobody is telling the other what to do with his or her money. So please share with me your thoughts so that I can learn. We're all here to learn from each other. And if you're sharing, be fast about it because the deadline is here. I will analyze these MTN shares based on the indicators I shared on this video and on this video. This is all I go through, like the factors that matter to me. It's not what matters to me that will matter to you, but yeah, if you want to know what matters to me, watch this video from beginning to end with rapt attention so that you know the real reason behind my decision. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and like the video. I'm sure that if you're watching till this point, you already enjoyed this video. It's going to be a fun ride. So click the like button. The first indicator I check is the sector the company is in. For MTN, that's the telecommunications sector. And if you watch the aforementioned videos, you will know that it's a yes for me. There's a lot of room for growth in the telecoms sector. As far as Nigeria is concerned, Nigeria is still a fetus when it comes to connecting to the world in this internet era. And yeah, there's a lot of room to grow. And that translates to revenue, right? Yeah. Nigeria also has the population to support that. So yeah, there's a lot of hope. The future is bright for the telecoms companies. The second thing I consider is the registrar that is managing the shares of the company in question. So MTN, who is your registrar? Let me go and check if they are in my black book. MTN's registrar is Coronation Registrars. Coronation Registrars Limited, formerly known as United Registrars Limited, from my dealings with them, is a good registrar. They act as registrars to the following companies you see on the screen now, some of which I own their shares. They are not slacking like some of the ones I mentioned in those videos I referred to earlier. In this day and age, one does not need to be in contact with the registrar all the time like back in the day, but I don't want a registrar to stress me in case I need to sort out a few things with them. Yeah, I don't want stress. So in terms of registrar, MTN gets my seal of approval. They have a good registrar managing their shareholders' affairs. The third thing I consider is a very important one. If the company pays dividends consistently. So MTN, do you pay dividends? Do you? Let's go to their website and find out, because all this information are out there for you, yeah, for the shareholders. MTN went public in 2019, so thankfully we don't have to sift through a lot of data to find out if they pay dividends and if they are consistent at that. So we go to their website, mtnonline.com. You'll find the financial reports under investor relations link on any serious company's website. In fact, once you land on their website and you don't see this investor link in a prominent location, just don't invest in that company. They're not serious. So according to their 2019 annual report, MTN paid an interim dividend of 2.95 kobo. Interim dividend is usually half-year dividend for companies that choose to pay dividends twice a year. Some companies prefer to pay just once a year. That's fine. You see, this happened in June 2019. The financial year is January to December, typically. Yeah. Then, at the end of that year, they declared a final dividend of 4.97 kobo. When you add that to the 2.95 kobo paid earlier in the year, you get 7.92 kobo as total dividend paid for 2019. In 2020, the year MTN made a lot of money due to the lockdown. You know, everyone was at home and we all had to rely on internet as our primary means of communication. A lot of people were working from home. In fact, till this day, my sister and some people that I know still work from home in Nigeria. Yeah, so a lot of companies had to quickly set up telecommunications, means of communication, telecommunications for their staff that were working from home. They didn't have to do that before, so all these contributed to the profit the telecoms companies made in 2020. So MTN, how much of your huge 2020 profit did you give to your shareholders? In 2020, MTN paid an interim dividend of 3.50 kobo per share and final dividend of 5.90 kobo per share, giving you a total of 9.40 kobo per share. Comparing 2019 and 2020 profits, in 2019 they had a revenue of 1.2 billion. They have this table in billions, but up here where they wrote it in words, it's actually in trillions. So is it me reading this table wrong? Anyway, they made a revenue of approximately 1.2 trillion naira in 2019 and topped that to 1.3 trillion naira in 2020. This MTN makes more money than Nigerian banks, so we should demand more from them. And these are the profit before tax in billions. Again, they have it here in millions, so I don't know if this is an error or something. Yeah. The long and short of it is that MTN paid dividends in the 2 years they have been trading publicly in the Nigerian stock exchange market. Yeah, they don't have that much history on the Nigerian stock exchange, only 2 years, but we can say that so far they are consistent in paying dividends. So in that department, it's a tick for me, yeah. Now, we have seen that they pay dividends, but is this dividend worth it? Yeah, are they giving their shareholders what they deserve based on the money they invested? We will find out if the MTN shares is worth investing in by calculating the dividend yield, which is the fourth thing that I consider before I buy the shares of any company. So not just are they paying dividends, yes they are, but is it worth it based on the amount of money you bought their shares or how much it's worth for the year in question. As always, I use this website that reports the historical value of shares on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Yeah, this site presents very clean data for the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I love it. So we plot the value of MTN shares in 2019. They started trading in May 2019, so we can only start from that date and plot that till December 31st, 2019. So this is the trend for MTN share prices for that year, with each dot being the price of MTN shares on each date you hover on. I only need an average share price for that year, so I'll choose around about this line, a round number of 130 naira per share. And since they paid 7 naira 92 kobo per share that year, we have that dividend yield is 7.92 divided by 130 naira. That gives you 0.6 something something. Multiply that by 100 and you get 6% as dividend yield. If you watched the two videos that I referred to, you will see that for Fidelity Bank PLC, we got 10% dividend yield. For Zenith Bank, we got 13%. And coincidentally, that was for the same year, 2019, yeah. And for GT Bank, we got 9%, yeah. I'll put it on the screen, yeah. They got 9%. So compared to these banks, MTN falls short, in my opinion. Yeah, they did not give their investors much return on investment. So based on dividend yield alone, I would say no, because we saw a better yield in other companies for the same year. It's all about dividends, yeah. Put your money where you make more money legitimately, yeah. So, but anyway, let's calculate for 2020 just for the benefit of doubt to see the yield for that year as well. Again, plotting the share prices this time for 2020, taking into consideration that this was the year of the lockdown. As you can see by the fall in the prices here, there was no trading during the strict lockdown period. I will take an average share price for 2020 as somewhere along this line, 124 naira. Let's go with that. Yeah, they paid a dividend of 9 naira 40 kobo for 2020. So we have that the dividend yield is 9.4 divided by the average share price for that year, which was 124 naira. And we have that they gave a return on investment of 7.5% for that year, 2020. So I still maintain my stand that compared to the three other companies we did their calculations for that year, MTN's return on investment is not good enough for me. I mean, if this is the best return we can get on the Nigerian stock market, fine, but other companies beat it for that year. So I cannot see where they are doing chieftaincy title, and I'll go to where they are doing something I don't understand, okay? As we say in Igbo. So based on the dividend yield, I would say it's a no for me, okay? Yeah. The next thing I consider when passing the company that I want to invest in their shares through my magnifying glass is the PE ratio, the price to earnings ratio. This is an indicator of the true worth of a company. It's not just what the price of the shares is doing at the stock market or how it's rallying and all that. It can be influenced by a lot of things, as we will see later. Let's calculate the PE ratio. It tells you the actual value of the shares of that company. This will tell us if the MTN shares at this price of 169 naira per share they stated for this public offer is worth it, if it's overpriced or if it's a good price. The PE ratio is the price per share divided by the earnings per share. I can tell you now that even without calculating this, I already know that this will not be good based on the value of the dividend yield. The dividend yield is already a good indication of the worth of the shares, because, you know, come to think of it, the dividend the company pays is related to their earnings per share, because it's a percentage of the earnings per share that they will pay you as dividend. No company will pay you out of pocket. If they do that, they will be running at a loss. Yeah, so I can already see where this is going, but let's do the calculation so we can all see it together. Just like dividends, the earnings per share of a company for each year can be found in the annual reports. So going back there, under the statement of profit or loss, we have that the earnings per share for 2019 is 9 naira 93 kobo. So dividing the share price for 2019 by the earnings per share, we have 130 divided by 9.93, which gives us 13. For 2020, we have that the earnings per share is 10 naira 8 kobo. So dividing the average share price we got for 2020 by that, we have 124 divided by 10.08, that's 12. These are very high numbers for a PE ratio because you want your PE ratio to be as close to 1 as possible. So what does this value we got for MTN mean? This means that in 2019, for every 13 naira that you invest in MTN, or you invested in MTN because that's in the past, you made 1 naira. You want a situation where you invest less money in a company to make 1 naira because that's giving you more value for your money, if you get what I mean. Remember the PE ratio we calculated for Fidelity and Zenith for that year? For Fidelity, we got 2, and for Zenith, we got 3. Comparing these numbers side by side, it means that for 2019, an investor needed to invest 13 naira in MTN to make 1 naira. That same year, an investor needed to invest 2 naira in Fidelity to make 1 naira. And the person needed to invest 3 naira in Zenith to make 1 naira. So assuming 3 people, A, B, C, had 13 naira to invest back in 2019, A invested this 13 naira in Fidelity, B invested his own 13 naira in Zenith, and C invested their own in MTN. A will make 6 naira 50 kobo, B will make 4 naira something, while C will make only 1 naira. So as an investor, knowing what you know now, where will you put your money? You decide. Don't say I told you. As an investor, it's all about return on investment. Even though the telecoms sector looks promising, there's a lot of room for growth, but are they paying you what your money is worth? Yeah, that is what you have to think about, because it's not just about wanting to identify with a sector. You need to make sure that they are paying you money compared to other companies that are available for you to invest in. I know they say that they will give bonus shares, but even at that bonus shares, if you recalculate, that is when you get the bonus shares, I think after 1 year, when you can start, you have access to the shares, because you're going to subscribe and say, I want to buy this amount, and then they have to do all the paperwork and all that. So when it becomes available to you and you are approved for the ones you subscribe for, you applied for, because what you're doing is you're actually indicating, I want 20 shares, I want 100 shares, I want 1,000 shares, something like that. So they're going to look through their books. If it's oversubscribed, they may not give you the amount you want, but yeah, when they've done all the paperwork, what they will do is they check for every 20 shares they approved for you, you get 1 free share. So based on 169 naira per share, if you recalculate it based on you paid the value of 20 shares for 21 shares, you will get 160 naira per share. And for me, that's still high. It's still high, because if you redo all this, it's still high. Let's not go into that. Yeah. Let's look at their share price again. Let's plot all. So after the lockdown, MTN share prices started rising again, as did the share prices of other companies. Go and plot the other companies. See that after a dip, especially a dip like this, that is widespread, it affected every company. The next thing is for other companies, every company, to start rising again, maybe back to their original price before the dip. MTN's price stabilized around 174, 175 naira per share. And then they made the first announcement of their intention to do a public offer on November 4th, 2021. Let's see the market response to that announcement, because this is what happens at the stock market. People respond to news, not how the company is doing. November 4th was on a Thursday, which is almost the end of the week. So nothing happened, but by the next big trading day, Monday 8th November, the market responded to that announcement. So the price jumped by almost 20 naira. It may now look like you are buying the public offer shares at a discount, but this rallying here is only a response to the news, as far as I'm concerned. And then on the 30th of November, they made the information open with details, and the share price jumped down to what it was before. Remember, I am not telling you to invest in Fidelity. I am not telling you to invest in Zenith. I am not telling you not to invest in MTN. I am just telling you what I see. I use if you paid attention while watching this video, you will see that I use historical data. I'm not trying to look into the future because I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Shareholders of MTN may watch this now and they will not approve this year's shares because usually a company says we want to pay you this amount for dividend, and then they do the annual general meeting of shareholders, and it's up to the shareholders to approve it or not. I know most often the shareholders say yes. A lot of shareholders don't even attend the meeting anyway. So usually what the company wants to pay is what they pay. But I don't know, maybe MTN shareholders will see this video now and then they go and protest. We want more. We want more. Pay us our money. And MTN will pay them more. Maybe they'll get the worth of their money this year. I don't know. I cannot see into the future. But based on this analysis that I've made, it's a no for me. I think it's overpriced. I can get more value for my money by investing in other places. I may well regret this. MTN may pay better dividends tomorrow. But that's the thing with investments. You win some, you lose some. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new in this video, if you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. Yeah, with your friends. That I know that you have been arguing about these shares for a long time. So if I shared your thoughts, share this with your friends and let's see where it goes. Bye bye. See you soon.